And welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. And now we are going to talk to the Realtor of the Year. That's right. He is the Realtor of the Year in Houston, Texas. His name is Chance Brown. He is with the Realty One Group. Chance, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Glad to be here.
Realtor of the Year. Yeah. First of all, let's tell people about your company and the area that you service.
Okay. Realty One Group Lone Star, we're a flat fee brokerage that operates throughout the city. We've got teams from Pearland to Montgomery. Our main office is in the Jersey Village area. And so the majority of our agents are in that area, but we've got people all over town ready to service whoever needs a good realtor.
And give us an idea from a market perspective in that area, Chance. How's the market right now?
It's good. It's really good. You know, it's a little price sensitive right now. We're seeing slower activity in the higher price points. We're seeing, crazy activity in the sub 250 range. But overall, it's been a really healthy market. There's a lot of growth going on in that area that kind of has revolved around the opening of Grand Parkway as it's come through. So we're seeing both commercial and residential development, and we're seeing employers moving out there. You know, we had Dakin build their giant plant out in Hockley. We have FedEx just opened a big facility right off the Grand Parkway by Bridgeland. And so there's a lot of people moving in that direction.
A lot of things going on, no doubt about it. Let's tell people also, how many years have you been in the real estate world, and what got you into the profession to begin with? What attracted you?
So when my father sold his company, he started doing a little bit of real estate speculation, and I really found a passion for it. At the time, I was working for a charity, the Muscular Dystrophy Association here in Houston, and started taking my classes at night, trying to get my license. And on the advice of a good friend and somebody who'd been in the real estate industry for a really long time, he told me to go work for a builder. And so I was very fortunate to get on with David Weekley Homes. And I spent a couple of years there selling, and then I was their sales trainer for a couple of years. And then before I left, I was running their Build on Your Lot department. And I learned so much from that experience, both how to run a business, but also who the good realtors, who the good brokers, everybody else out there, that it made the transition fairly easy to make when we decided to go back and get my real estate license. My plan was only work at Weekley for a couple of years and go get my license. And 7 years later, I finally came home and told my wife it was time.
It was time. It's fascinating, too. And I don't know the number, but I think it's somewhere 30, 35,000, maybe 40.
Realtors?
30s, yeah. How many realtors are in Houston?
I believe last time I looked, it was about 35,000.
Okay, so let's say 35,000 people listening outside of Houston, Texas. Yeah, we are the fourth largest city, they say, and soon to be the third, they're also saying. However, that's a lot of realtors.
It is.
Yes, a lot of them don't practice, but a lot of them do, and a lot of them are really good. So how do you get to be Realtor of the Year out of that pack? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was really, it was kind of shocking. The story I tell is I was actually working on a project with Chanel, who's going to be
We're going to be hearing from Chanel.
Yeah. And my phone rang, and it was HAR, and I just kind of bumped it to voicemail. I'll call him back later. And then next thing I know, I get a knock on my door, and our office manager is telling me that HAR General Counsel is on the phone. And first thought that goes through my head is like, oh, crap, what did we screw up? Yeah, what did we do wrong here?
Here we go.
I pick up the phone, and he's like, hey, I've got Cindy Heyman here with me, who was the chair last year. And I'm like, oh, man, what did we really screw up that I've got the lawyer and the chair calling me? And that's when they told me.
So you're paying attention on the phone call right now.
I'm definitely paying attention. And that's when they told me. And, I was relieved at first, but then obviously excited. And it's just a combination of service and production and the work we do in the industry. Somebody nominated me for it, and the committee that chose me.
There you are, a wise committee indeed,
that's
right?
What I say. That's what I say.
But give people an idea at whatever level they are. Even they may not even be in the real estate world. People listen from all walks of life. But in the real estate world, some of the things that you have done to achieve that accolade and title are core principles of success. So share with us, if you would, a few ideas of what you do to be so successful that has served you well all these years.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to time management and systems. And really, I think that it translates into any industry, not just being a realtor, not just being a volunteer leader. That's any industry, is you've got to be the person who is in charge of your schedule. You have to run your day, not let your day run you. And then have systems and processes in place in your business and in your life that allow you the flexibility to be able to go out and do the things that you need to do to be successful. And so I'm not going to tell you that day one, my life looked like that. Day one, I was running around like a chicken with a head cut off, trying to figure out what the heck I was doing. But over time, that's where it's really paid off for me and been able to accomplish the things that I've accomplished, is having the people and the processes in place to help me do my job.
One transaction at a time.
One transaction at a time. That really is it.
Another thing that in whatever we do, as far as challenges, especially in the real estate transaction, there's so many intricacies, there's so many pieces of paper that you have to be on top of and have people aware of what they're signing and things like that. What do you do when there's a challenge of any type in the real estate transaction? How would you advise a realtor out there or someone on your team?
Communicate. Over-communicate. That's
a
the
good
key.
one.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the breakdown in most relationships, and if you're talking about a agent to client relationship, friend to friend, husband wife, the breakdown in most relationships is lack of communication.
Wait a minute, let's say that again. That is profound, but it is absolutely true in anything.
Right.
A breakdown of communication, it will take the train off the rails.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, one of the things that we train really hard is setting expectations early and then going back and reinforcing them. So, let's say that I'm sitting down in your living room and you're wanting to sell a home. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the entire process, whether you've done it before or not. And this is what it looks like from the day we sign a listing agreement to the day we sign the closing papers. And that way, as we go through that process, I can go, Bill, remember when we talked about this? And that communication is set. You're going back to it, and the expectation's there, and the communication lane is wide open. I think one of the things that people hate is surprises.
And that's right. The other thing about sharing that whole experience with someone, even if they've sold 5 homes before, is that the real estate world and transaction is ever changing.
Constantly.
So as a realtor, you have to wear so many hats. However, one of those is being able to stay on top of the changes and then, and I'll use your term, over-communicate that to your clients, buyers and sellers alike.
That's the key. One of the beautiful things about the service that I do inside of the industry is I'm around top-level people who are doing great things in their business that I can then steal and take for my own and take credit if they work, obviously.
The secret of success.
Right?
I love that.
But
well,
also,
as they say, nothing's really new. We have to keep these great ideas afloat.
Right. But also, I've got 140 agents that work for me, and when they call, I have a tendency to know what's going on because I am involved and I see those things and I get that communication and actually take the time to read it, which, helps too.
No doubt about that. What do you tell someone, and I'm sure this happens all the time, when someone says, Chance, I see that I want to be involved in real estate. I think I'd be a great real estate agent. I want to work for you. What do I need to do? What do I need to be successful in the real estate world? What do you tell them?
So there's a couple of things.
Is it just like TV, Chance?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. You get your license, HGTV comes and knocks on the door, and you've got a show.
Shows up, yeah.
It's just actually funny because one of our agents just got a show, and I'm like, well,
hey, there you go.
Now you blew my theory out of the water. So, really what it boils down to, in my opinion, is being willing to do the things that aren't very sexy. In this industry, we are encumbered by new technologies, shiny quarters that people want to go and chase, this website, this service, this technology. And the truth of the matter is, it boils down to relationships, just like Roseanne was talking about. It's a relationship game, and you've got to take the time to build those relationships, and that looks a lot like going to work.
And and like you said, do the things that are difficult and be steadfast and do them, I think, better consistently and strive to do them with elevated service better than other people.
Yep, I agree. And then
or your competitors.
Really, the last thing is you got to realize it's a marathon and not a sprint.
There you go. And Chance, say with the last minute, what else would you like people to know about your company or anything else?
Well, if you're a real estate agent out there looking for a new home, we'd love the opportunity to see if it would be a good fit for you. I think, personally, I'm a little biased maybe, that we bring the best level of service and the best level of support. We've been named the #1 company to work for in Houston the last 2 years by the Houston Business Journal. And so, I think we offer a great opportunity. If you're a client out there looking for a realtor, I think we have the best in the business.
And how can people reach you, Chance?
My cell phone number is 281-380-7631, or it's cb@chancebrown.net.
And the number again?
281-380-7631.
One more time, just for the fun of it.
281-380-7631.
He is Chance Brown, Realtor of the Year, right here in Houston, Texas. So if you're listening in Alaska, check him out. And we're going to take a short break. Thank you, Chance, for being on the show. He'll be coming back in a little bit. We're coming right back with even more. Stay with us.